Ukraine and the United States will hold high-level talks in Miami today, focusing on security guarantees for Kyiv and Ukraine's long-term economic recovery. Ukraine's ambassador to Washington said the negotiations will be led by Presidential Office Chief Kyrylo Budanov and Defense Council Secretary Rustem Umerov, though it remains unclear which officials will represent the U.S. side. Now, President Volodymyr Zelensky has said that he hopes Ukraine will sign agreements with the United States next week as part of efforts to end Russia's invasion. However, he criticized delays in ammunition supplies for international partners. Zelensky also confirmed that a Ukrainian delegation is already en route to the United States for today's round of negotiations.
Our representatives, Rustem Umerov, Kyrylo Budanov and Davyd Arakhamia, are now on their way to the United States. We expect meetings with American colleagues very soon.
The Ukrainian president stressed that air defense remains a top priority, warning that intelligence suggests Russia is preparing massive new attacks on Ukraine's energy infrastructure.
We now have intelligence information that the Russians are preparing for new, massive strikes. We are being honest with our partners about air defense missiles and the systems we need so very much. Supplies are insufficient. We are trying to speed things up, and it is crucial that our partners hear us. Much is being done now at the level of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine.
Now, Kyiv's Mayor Vitaly Klitschko has said that the capital is facing its most severe wartime energy crisis. Now listen to this.
There was no such difficult situation in Kyiv since the beginning of the war, and it's the first time in the history of our city that, in such severe frosts, most of the city was left without heating and with a huge shortage of electricity. Donbas, Donetsk, Luhansk, or Crimea, they were never Putin's final goal. His target is all of Ukraine and especially the heart of Ukraine, Kyiv, the capital. The goal of the strikes on Kyiv is to break the resistance, the spirit of the Ukrainians, to do everything so that people fall into depression, take their suitcases and vacate the territory.
In Moscow, Russian President Vladimir Putin acknowledged that Russia is lagging behind in certain areas of unmanned transport technology. He made the comments while inspecting unmanned vehicles at a subway railroad depot in the Russian capital.
Today, we also need to develop a national unmanned transport industry based on a sovereign technological and production platform, drawing on our own scientific and engineering schools, including in the fields of microelectronics, new materials and optics.
Meanwhile, Russia and Ukraine have agreed to a localized ceasefire to allow repairs on the final backup power line serving Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. The International Atomic Energy Agency has said that the line was damaged earlier this month and repair work is expected to begin in the coming days. IAEA Director General Rafael Grossi said the agreement highlights the agency's continued role in reducing nuclear risks during the war. In Germany, Armin Laschet, a prominent member of German Chancellor Friedrich Merz's party, has called on for renewed dialogue with Russia, saying the current situation was absurd. The head of the German Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee said Europe must be able to represent its own interests if it wants strategic independence. He voiced support for French President Emmanuel Macron's call for a new framework to engage with Moscow. Meanwhile, in Kyiv, a court has released former Prime Minister Yulia Tymoshenko on bail ahead of her trial on charges of bribing lawmakers to influence parliamentary votes. Tymoshenko, who denies the allegations and says the case is politically motivated, served twice as prime minister.